Lisa Broyles with Way to Health MD, and this is my fourth video in my vaccine series, and this one is vaccines for babies or children under the age of 12 months. I'm going to tell you what I recommend as a functional medicine practitioner and MD, and I'm going to tell you what I did as a mother for my own children and for my patients. So I do think that there are some vaccines that are recommended for children under the age of 12 months that are absolutely essential life-saving vaccines. Basically, there's 6 vaccines I'm going to discuss in this video for under the age of 12 months, 3 of which I find to be critical and I highly recommend that everyone get them. First is DTaP. That is your tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis all in one vaccine. This one is the most important. If you got nothing else, I recommend this one, mainly because tetanus has no cure, and people think that, oh, my child's only going to get tetanus if they step on a rusty nail, and this is not true. Tetanus grows in grass, in dusty environments, in droughts. Years ago, we were buying our first home after I finished residency, and there was goats that came with it, and we were so excited. Well, there was a drought that summer, and this was in eastern Tennessee, and when we moved in, all of the goats had died several weeks earlier, and we found out they were unvaccinated goats, and there was tetanus in our grass, and it killed our goats. So that was kind of a big red flag for me to make sure my children, who were going to be playing in that same dirt, were vaccinated against tetanus, okay? So the diphtheria that's in that same vaccine is a bacteria that causes severe swelling and a coating of this white dead cells all in the throat, and it can be so severe that people suffocate, and up to a third of cases can actually die from it. So that's diphtheria. The third thing that's in the DTaP is pertussis. Pertussis is whooping cough, and you cough and cough and cough until you can't breathe, pass out. So in pertussis, there are outbreaks all over the US right now. So the DTaP vaccine is a killed vaccine. There's nothing live. There's been no associations with DTaP and any kind of autoimmune or neurodegenerative disorders. DTaP is absolutely essential. The next one that I think is essential is the Hib vaccine. This is Haemophilus, H-I-B. Haemophilus can cause bacterial meningitis, so swelling of the brain. It can cause a child to be permanently brain damaged if they get Haemophilus bacteria. This is not the vaccine, okay? This is what the vaccine is trying to prevent. So swelling of the brain, deafness, any other kind of developmental delays can be seen with bacterial meningitis. It's very severe. It can also cause something called epiglottitis, where the throat just closes up suddenly and the child can't breathe, and you literally have minutes to save that child's life. So Hib is an important vaccine. Again, it's a killed vaccine. There's nothing live. There's no studies showing any evidence that the Hib vaccine will cause any kind of autism or autoimmune disorders, nor does it contain thimerosal. So there's no reason not to get the Hib vaccine. Last but not least, for babies under the age of 12 months, I recommend the pneumococcal or PCV vaccine. So the pneumococcal vaccine also protects against bacterial meningitis and severe pneumonias that can kill kids. It's also a killed vaccine with no evidence whatsoever that it's ever caused any kind of autism or neurodegenerative disease. Now, there are some vaccines that are recommended for age under 12 that I do not believe are life-threatening for the majority of us here in the United States. One of those is the Hepatitis B vaccine. Hepatitis B can only be contracted via needles, blood, intercourse. So most babies are not going to be exposed to needles or anything like that. So hepatitis B, in my opinion, is unnecessary for the vast majority of our children. The hepatitis B vaccine, excuse me. The Hepatitis A vaccine also is against hepatitis that you can get through contaminated food or water. Unless you are traveling with your infant under the age of 1 to third world countries, I don't think hepatitis A is necessary. There is an occasional Hep A outbreak here in the US, but they are relatively uncommon. So then we come down to the polio vaccine. There are 2 options. There is an oral live one, which is not given to infants, and then the killed one that is. There have been some polio outbreaks globally. So the polio vaccine is something you should consider if you want to travel with your child to third world countries. Otherwise, it's really not necessary in my opinion. So I think that the issue is there's just so many vaccines all being given in that first 12 months of life. So it does raise questions of stimulating some autoimmunity, increasing the risk of autoimmune disease as the child ages because of the sheer volume of vaccines. So my approach to children under the age of 12 months, get the essentials. That's your DTaP, your Hib, and your PCV. Those are life-saving for your child. The others you can pick and choose based on your travel, where you live geographically. So there are other vaccines that we'll discuss in the further videos, like mRNA vaccines such as COVID and the new RSV vaccine. The only other vaccine that I do want to mention in this video is Rotavirus, which is given to prevent children from having a severe gastrointestinal illness. I don't think this one's necessary either, and there's a small chance that the Rotavirus vaccine can cause your child's intestines to twist, requiring emergency surgery. This actually happened to the daughter of one of my fellow providers when I was first in practice, and it was really scary. The child recovered, but she did have to have surgery. So I don't recommend the rotavirus vaccine. The chances of a child actually dying from rotavirus are very slim. It's a gastrointestinal illness. So think about protect your child from the diseases that can cause devastating neurological damage or death, okay? That's DTaP, Hib, and PCV. So I think that the others, for those of us in the US, should be optional, and that's the Hepatitis A, Hepatitis B, Polio, and Rotavirus. Thank you.